Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I'm here today to do a couple of quick reviews for you. So, I am getting ready to go back to the library and take this stack of books to return. I thought I would just go through very quickly and talk to you about them before I did that. So, the first book I want to talk about is The Dark Hills Divide by Patrick Carman. This is the Land of Ilion book one. And this book is 250 pages long, and I really think it could have been about 100 pages shorter. The very beginning of the book was set up, though. I don't feel like we needed as much setup as he gave us. However, I think that this is a pretty solid first book since it is a long series. I gave it 3 stars. It's about a 3.5 star. The ending was pretty awesome, and the setup for the next book in the epilogue I thought was well done. But there were a lot of instances in this book where there was a lot of extra detail that I felt like just really didn't have to be there. Um, Middle grade students, especially the new generation of middle grade students, I feel like most of them would not be as interested because there were several sections that you kind of had to slog through a little bit. But the premise behind this is pretty awesome. There's this little girl named Alexa, and she lives in a segment of walled cities. There are 3 walled cities. The road between the cities are walled. Um, everything, everything is walled off because there's these dark lands on the other side of the forest, and they're afraid something's going to come get them. But she's always wanted to go out, and she winds up being able to talk to animals and getting out of the city and saving her people and all that jazz. And it's a really great premise. I just feel like there was too much detail for me. Um, I don't know if I'm going to pick up book two. The next one I've got is Mandy and the Secret Tunnel by Lois Gladys Leopard. This is a Christian mystery series, apparently. I was told that it was like the Christian equivalent of a 12-year-old Nancy Drew. And when I picked it up, I read it in a day. It's a quick read. It's fairly well written. There were several places, again, where I felt like details could have been shortened up a little bit or even just supported a little more. But this was written in the mid 80s, so the writing style is definite 80s. Um, I'm not sure how to explain that to you any better than what I did. It's about this little girl in the 1800s, I believe, like the late 1800s. I'm not sure they gave us an actual time frame. Um, but her pa dies, and her mom gets rid of her, basically sends her to be a nanny for this couple who just really don't like anyone. And she runs away and she finds her uncle's house, and she's kind of trying to figure out a mystery. She figures it out in the end. It's fairly well written. However, again, I just I kind of had to slog through some bits, and the way it was written just did not make me want to continue on with the series. The mystery wasn't really that much of a mystery. Um, I don't want to give anything away because it was decently written, and I would encourage you, if you want to read a Christian semi mystery, or if you want to hand this to younger middle grade readers, and you want to make sure that it's well done. There's a lot of praying and a lot of talk about, like, she's grieving and she's like, God, I don't know why you don't love me anymore, but I still love you. Um, and I think that part was really well done. So if you haven't read these and you would like to read something like that, I would recommend it. But if you're looking for something that has more of a mystery aspect, this is really not it. All right, next I've got John Grisham's Theodore Boon Kid Lawyer. This is the first book in the series. I am intending to pick up the second book in this series, which is a first for the books I'm talking about today. I did really enjoy this. I think I gave it a 3.5 star. I may have given it a 4 star. There were parts. This is the first book in the series, so there was a lot of setup. Again, first books do that, and I understand it, but sometimes it gets really boring. There were only a couple of places where the setup made me feel bored. He wove it in really well. And it wasn't a thriller. I thought it was going to be more of a thriller, and it was a little more boring, not boring, but less thrillery than I had anticipated. But on the whole, I really enjoyed what was going on. This kid, both of his parents are lawyers, and so he knows a lot about the law system. He wants to be a lawyer himself when he grows up, and he helps kids in his school. And then, most especially, this one circles around a kid in his school. His cousin is an illegal immigrant but has witnessed something that will help a current murder case. And so Theodore has to kind of figure out how to help and get this information to the judge and jury without hurting his friend's cousin. Um, and I thought it was really well done. It was very interesting, and I'm looking forward to book two. All right, the next book I have to talk to you about is one that I have reread twice now. The author is one of my favorite authors of the last couple of years, and I'm really looking forward to the next book, which is a prequel to this book and is coming out this month, I believe. That's The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. This is about twin brothers who are junior high students and love basketball, and it's about how they're growing up, and they're amazing basketball players. Their dad was in the European League. Their mom is the principal at their junior high, and it's it's a great story about the year, and it's all written in verse because that's what Kwame does. Kwame writes in verse. Um, and it's all about Josh and JB, and one of them gets a girlfriend, and one of them doesn't understand and doesn't like the girlfriend. Um, it's about their friendships, it's about their family, and it is very, very interesting and well done. We read this as a class, and when I told my students that Kwame had written a prequel to this that is all about the dad when he was 12 discovering basketball, they begged and pleaded with me to buy Rebound when it came out and do a unit over that. So, guess what we're doing at the end of the school year? I'm about to go online and pre order Rebound, and we're going to be doing a unit on that at the end of the school year. It's amazing, and it's a really good way to have your students learn about verse. Right, the last two books I have are books that I read with my daughter. The first one is Kylie Jean Blueberry Queen by Marcy Peshka. This is kind of upper level children's chapter book slash lower middle grade. All about this little girl, Kylie Jean, who wants to be a beauty queen. And so she finds out that the Blueberry Festival has a beauty pageant with it. And she goes through and decides that she is going to do all the things she has to do to become the Blueberry Queen. It's really cute, it's really sweet. The chapters are short, and it's all about Kylie going for what she wants and having her family help her. And Elena gave it like a 5 star. I give it about a 3.5 star, but it is very, very cute, and we are looking forward to reading the next in this series. And then finally, we read Beautiful Bananas by Elizabeth Laird and Liz Pichon. And it is this adorable little picture book story about how this little girl is going to see her grandfather, and she's taking him a beautiful bunch of bananas. But all along the way, she meets these different animals, and the animals take her present. So she's got the bunch of bananas, and the first group of animals grabs her bananas. Um, or on the way, she meets a giraffe who flicks his fluffy tail. He whisks the bananas right off Beatrice's head, and they land with a splash in the stream. And so then the giraffe is sorry for doing that and gives her this bunch of flowers. And it just goes on from there. And then in the end, when she gets to Grandpa's house, she has a present for him. But it's adorable and lovely, and you should definitely check it out if you have kids or if you yourself enjoy picture books. It's really well done, and I suggest that you pick it out. those are all of the books I wanted to talk about today. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you've read any of them, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about them. If you want any full in-depth reviews on any of them, let me know that as well. And I will talk to you again soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend slash week. And, like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Bye.